Let's go with Kano and see what happens now that we've fucked up traffic. Car moved at a glacial pace towards the crime syndicate hangout. Stanley pounded his fist on the steering wheel in frustration. They had no sooner set out than the traffic slowed to a near standstill. Despite the occasional lurch, it never crept above a crawl. Near a student passenger's seat, the case was rapidly getting out of hand. Now he had to worry about the safety of both Maria and her sister Hitomi. Never mind the fact that Detective Tatino had also gone missing. There were too many unknowns, too many uncertainties. His unease was growing unbearable. Also, Tano hasn't radioed in. And, he can't reach him in the front of the end either. His words kept echoing inside Kano's head. What would have caused Tano to drop out of contact? Someone had gone after Hitomi while Kano and the others were busy trying the attaché case. Could Tatino have been... No, it couldn't be. Kano was sure Tatino would have done whatever was necessary to keep Hitomi safe. Stanley put long silence. What's on your mind, Mr. Anderson? Still thinking about the call from Kuze? Kano didn't answer. Look, if you're worried about the other detective, that guy couldn't even protect one girl, Stanley continued. Not exactly a ring endorsement. Don't you talk about Detective Tatino that way. I'm concerned about Hitomi Osawa, but the missing attaché case needs to come first. His expression remained stone cold. Kano flushed him a silent glare, then went back to staring out the window. A moment later, a flurry of motion in a nearby alley caught his eye. For the start, he recognized Sasayama. His fellow detective was caught up in an altercation with a man in the dark clothing. In his sprang in action, his body moving almost before his mind registered the situation. Sasayama! Flinging the door open, he leapt out of the car. Hey, wait! Stanley called after him. Kano was already sprinting towards the fight. Oof! Wow, someone's really starting to pick a fight with him. The other man knocked Sasayama onto a pile of garbage. Sasayama struggled to get back to his feet. His opponent looked down at him with a triumphant sneer. He finally got a good look at the man, and his eyes flashed with recognition. It was the perp who first taken the attaché case back in the scramble. Tariq Al-Kawawan. You! Kano growled. He sped like a bullet to tackle Al-Kawan round the legs. But Al-Kawan nimbly stepped aside. Kano's arms closed on nothing but air. At the same moment, Al-Kawan deftly wrapped the arm round Kano's neck. Kano felt a vice-like pressure on his carotid artery. A move known as the frontal choke sleeper hold. Constricting the carotid artery stops blood flow to the brain, causing the opponent to lose consciousness. Also known as a guillotine choke. Ooh. I can understand why. Jesus. As Kano quickly begins to slip away. Oh no you don't, you bastard! He snarled. Lowering his center of gravity, he got hold of and used it to hit his shoulder as a fulcrum against it. Yeah! Despite the arm still crushing his neck, Kano managed to lift his opponent high into the air. He continued the movement to heave right over himself, slamming him upside down into the heap of trash. Ooh, ow. Stanley strolled up to the aftermath of the struggle. Well, you've got the brawn part down, he said. Need some work on the brains. Owen was sprawled out on top of the mound of refuse. He'd been knocked out cold. Sasayama coughed and spluttered. Kano went to help him on his feet, but Stanley stepped in between them. What are you doing? Stanley asked. Help me, Sasayama. What does it look like? We need to apprehend Alquan first. He's not even conscious. Sasayama can come first. He pushed Stanley aside and crashed down alongside his partner. You alright, Yast? Yes, Sasayama. You bailing me out, though? Can't let the missus know about that. Mum's the word, Kano said. He said no, I don't know Sasayama and helped him to his feet. Managed to find the guy who had the attaché case, said. But when I tried to arrest him, this fella came out of nowhere and attacked me. It was a nasty look. So here we go again, disobeying direct orders, Stanley huffed. What's the deal with Japanese police anyway? He shook his head in exasperation. Sasayama gave Kano a puzzled look, jerking his thumb at the American. Who's this guy? A long story, Kano said. He feels Sasayama in on the situation. Enough chit-chat. Hurry up and cuff this guy, Stanley said. Him down by Alquan's unconscious body, flipped him over, and proceeded to cuff his hands behind his back. Kano paused, and his sleeve had slid back from his wrist. What's this? Wasn't that skill or kill? The unconscious man had a tattoo of a two-headed scorpion. A two-headed scorpion? How would that work? Stanley strode over. You find something, he asked? Yeah, I think this guy might be a ringleader. Seeing the image, it reminded Kano of something he'd heard back at headquarters, that the head of a foreign syndicate had a scorpion tattoo. He relayed his information to Stanley. I see. Stanley called up Kuze on his cell. You'll be happy to know that the guy with the attaché case is still at large, he said. Apprehending the ringleader at this point shouldn't be an issue. One of your so very capable subordinates gave us a big step forward in that case here. Wait a second, Sasayama murmured. That was sarcasm, wasn't it? Stanley hung up and called over to him. Think you can escort that guy back to the precinct? Yeah, sure, seeing how very capable I am. Kano felt his phone vibrate. The display showed an incoming call from Rumi. Hello? He asked wearily, keeping his voice down. Stanley had a little edge. It's me, it's Shizu. Damn it, Kano thought. He did not have the time for this right now. But if he just hung up, he might be even in deeper hot water. Not to say the messy out of the phone, or decide he better listen to what the old man had to say, yeah. I better listen to what the old man had to say. Yes, I'm afraid I'm not really at liberty to take a personal call right now, even if it is from my father-in-law. You do this best to sound apologetic. I'm not your father-in-law. Yes, of course, sorry, sir. I bowed his head reflexively, feeling like an idiot. You really don't give a damn about keeping me waiting like this, do you? Sir, I swear to you, I feel terrible. Please, I just... Frustedly took a deep breath and recomposed himself. I promise you, sir. I promise I'll be there. If you can just wait a while... Don't make promises you can't keep! Jesus' barking rebuke made Kano break out into a sweat. You think I'm gonna let you off the hook just because you're working a case? This is exactly why I don't want my daughter with some detective. Wait, wasn't it covered that the father was also a detective? So he should know what it's like? Fucking dick. Great, another angry tirade. But didn't you used to be a detective, sir? Yeah, exactly my point. Kano muttered. You watch yourself, you little rat. It's not enough that you keep calling me your father-in-law. Now you have to bring that up. Evidently, Kano had touched a raw nerve. Ever have a dentist hit a nerve while drilling a tooth? That's where this expression comes from. It seemed like anything he said only made the matters worse. Well, you're not off the hook, Shizu continued. I am never letting my daughter marry the likes of you. His fury hitting the crescendo, Shizu promptly hung up. Why on earth did Shizu hold such intense malice towards police detectives when he'd been one himself? He had become a detective for Rumi's sake in the first place, and now it was the biggest thing holding him back. Hey, come on, let's go. Stanley's voice snapped Kano out of his daze. Grimly followed the American back to the car. Again, Stanley was thumping the steering wheel in frustration. Traffic hadn't let up one bit. It was starting to look like they might never make it to the foreign syndicate's hand now. And got sight of a girl in a hoodie weaving her way between the stopped cars on foot. Miku Morita was a fighter and cosplay fighting club bride, but just decided to retire after losing to Tama, the cat in the street fight. She's thinking about what to do with herself now. She rolled down the window and called out. He rolled down the window and called out to her. "Excuse me, miss. Did something happen?" "Huh? What do you mean?" "The road, I mean. What's with all this traffic?" "Oh, right. Apparently there was some big accident over by the train station. That's probably what's causing it." "Really?" "Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to be going anywhere for quite a while." She smiled and went about her way. Stanley gave the steering wheel another punch. Well, I guess they did say this wasn't just some typical ransom case, he muttered. He saw an opportunity. If they're not after the money, then what are they after? Stanley kept his eyes forward, acting as if he hadn't heard. "Look," he said, "I can't help you if you keep me out of the loop." After a few moments of thought, Stanley replied with a single word, monosyllable. "Drugs." "What?" "Rita's father, Kenji Osawa. I assume you're aware he works for Okishari Pharmaceutical?" "I am." "Nothing's been made public yet, but Osawa recently oversaw the development of a new drug. Oh, I call a new drug to be in development for 15 years or more, expenses totaling 20 to 30 billion yen, roughly 200 to 300 million dollars, US dollars. Before it is approved, worldwide demand and sensational profits can be expected if a groundbreaking medicine is developed. Nonetheless, pharmaceutical companies are often under major pressure due to tremendous costs of labor and equipment. Not to mention the fact that if you don't test out a drug thoroughly, there's chances that you're going to be poisoning and killing people. Or in the one case where children were born with missing limbs and even missing head. Jesus. With what's it? Formaldehyde? Formaldehyde? I can't remember what one it was. But yeah, and now I'm thinking maybe they want the sister, because I think Osawa said something about that he did something to one of the girls, like an experiment. So maybe one of the girls has something in her bloodstream that these people are after. It's the only theory I have. Someone is trying to get their hands on it. Kim's mind latched onto this new information, trying to assemble the pieces of an evolving puzzle. Someone? Who? The international criminal mastermind. This foreign syndicate is merely a tool in someone else's game. Kim regarded Stanley's face carefully. It's more cool and serious than ever. So wait, does this mean that the reason we're letting the syndicate walk around unfettered is my orders? Yes. Is it my orders? Yes. I see. So the only thing you're really concerned about is catching this international mastermind? Precisely. Keno felt like he was starting to get a picture of some sort of person Stanley was. So you don't really care about what happens to the girl who's been abducted, do you? Not particularly, no. Why? Do you have a problem with that? Keno clenched his fist. His hand was shaking with anger. Dictator number 8. When you really want to punish something, you really probably shouldn't. I mean, those are definitely life lessons, yes. Keno recited the words inwardly like some sort of desperate mantra. If he didn't manage to calm himself down, he was liable to slam his fist right at Stanley's face. They didn't say, "Dodge this," like the Matrix. Outside the car, the traffic remained at a standstill. Kano chafed, and chafed against the feeling of utter futility. One after another, his uncertainties came to nag at him. Was Maria still safe? What happened to Hitomi and Tatino, her bodyguard? And now, on top of all this, it struck Kano as rather careless to send Sasayama away with Aokawan without any backup. Now that Jack had alerted him to the presence of a dangerous international mastermind still on the loose. Finding back his fit of peak, Kano got out of himself. To do something impulsively out of irritation, resentment, or the like, similar to doing something like in a huff. Ah, okay. In a huff. Right, I get it. Both are some interesting choices. I think I'll go for phoning up the creepy detective Kajiwara. The station that you saw, for instance. You hope that a little more information about the family's two daughters might shed some light on the situation. Detective answered properly. Kajiwara here? Hey, it's Kano. Kano? A horrid jarring beeping was audible from the other end of the thing. What's that noise? Kano asked. Sorry, hold on, I can't really hear you. Okay, go on. It sounded like Kajiwara was moving away from the source of the noise, so Kano could still hear it faintly in the background. He explained that he was looking for more info on the Asawa girls. Honestly, Dr. Kano, I thought you were more mature than this, Kajiwara said disapprovingly. What? Come again? Kano was so bewildered. What's with this attitude all of a sudden? You've got a little crush, don't you? Kajiwara told him. What? No, detective, that isn't why. You mustn't let yourself get personally attached to the investigation. Still, I was young and impulsive myself once. I guess I can tell you one thing. Kano kept his cell phone pressed tight against his ear. Two girls? They look exactly alike. Oh! Kajiwara, just fuck off. He kept his voice low as if he were revealing some major secret. But Kano knew this already. Everyone assigned the investigation had been informed that the girls were twins at the previous night's briefing. However, Kajiwara continued, still sotto voce, their personalities are pretty different. The younger sister, Hitomi, is quiet and reserved, but Maria is apparently more of a busybody. Huh, I see. Then I thought back on Hitomi standing in front of the statue of Achiguro. She had indeed seemed like an introvert, though Kano had also sensed her intense commitment to helping her sister. Perhaps she was less demonstrative, but her heart certainly seemed to be in the right place. Why? You know, someone shouting in the background wherever she was. Huh? What was that just now? He asked. Mr. Sora, the girl's father. I think something might have happened. Kajiwara's voice was laced with concern. I should go see what this is all about. Yeah, probably. But Kano, tell me. Yes? Which one is it? Which one do you have a crush on? Yeah, hang up. Yeah, exactly, Kano. That's the best way to deal with that asshole. Just hang up. Well, that's traffic began to move again. Well, as soon as it did, however, Stanley had a slam on the brakes. The rep stopped to make Kano smack his head against the windshield. Hey, what gives? Look, Stanley said. He adjusted with his chin. Kano couldn't believe his eyes. There, walking on the sidewalk, was Al Kwan, very much not in custody. What the hell? Kano shouted, already hopping out of the car. Stanley was right behind him. They crept up to their target as silently as possible, and then rushed him once they were close. In a moment they subdued him, Kano used his own body weight to hold Al Kwan down. What are you doing out here? He demanded. Whoa, hey, guess you didn't get the memo, huh? Kano flashed a coy grin. There, let me go. Let you go? I think your body here might be having problems, Akira said to Stanley. I am a free man. Kano turned and glared at Stanley. What is he talking about? No idea. First things first, get this guy back to the precinct. I'll head to the syndicate hangout by myself. You don't think this is weird? Kano asked. I mean, what the heck is this guy doing on the loose again? What matters is that he is free. Maybe he's telling the truth about being let go. That's ridiculous. Then I guess he must have escaped on his own, Stanley replied. In either case, your buddy screwed up royally. Now it's on you to unscrew things. None of this sat right with Kano, but the fact remains that he couldn't just let Alcoran go. He gave Stanley detailed directions to hang out, and the car sped away towards Yoyogi. Then Kano headed back to the precinct with his captive, trying to reassure himself that he might learn something from questioning Alcoran that would have helped solve the case. Maybe that was the wrong issue to call that rather than that guy. Oh no, maybe not. He was opposite Alcoran in the interrogation room. He'd been attempting to interview the suspect for about a quarter of an hour. Alcoran had sat ramrod stiff, not responding to any prompts or questions. What time is it right now? He asked. They'd taken away his watch, his wallet, and a small knife, and his keychain. This was the third time he asked to know what the time is. Are you concerned what time it is? Kano asked. Akira gave no reply. Are you waiting on something? Again, the suspect was staunchly silent. Kano wasn't sure what to make of this, but he took a look at his watch. It's around 2 o'clock, he said. What time exactly? It's 2:18. And how many seconds? Look, just cut the crap. Kano grabbed the prisoner by the collar. What the hell are you people after? I could immediately repeat this question. What is it right now? Alexander shoved his wristwatch in Alcoran's face. Ah, it's 2020, Alcoran said. Okay then, that should do it. What does that mean? The interrogation went on for several more hours. Despite Kano's best efforts, however, Alcoran said nothing more. During all that time, the case continued to develop in unexpected ways. Kano, stuck in the interrogation room, knew nothing about it until everything was already done over. Well, Kano rolled out in recapturing him. Ironically, his action actually disrupted the investigation. Maybe letting the syndicate run free for time being really was the right call. Someone can do something at 13:40 that throws a wrench into Kano's activities. Thanks to the involvement of unrelated parties, and Kano's reaction will make the investigation play differently. Huh.